The usually quiet streets of Antwerp's Diamond District were stunned on the morning of February 16, 2003, as one of the world's most secure vaults was found wide open, totally emptied. Not one alarm had been tripped, and the vault's huge 3-ton steel door was undamaged. Inside, an estimated $100 million in cash, gold, and diamonds was gone. To the Special Diamond Squad, the Belgian police force charged with guarding Antwerp's wealthiest square mile, it was an impossible mystery. No sign of forced entry, no witnesses, nothing whatsoever that might have given any indication how someone had gotten past the vault's 10 layers of security. Yet one thing was clear. History's biggest diamond heist had just gone down, and whoever had pulled off the heist had done so flawlessly. The mastermind behind this daring heist was none other than Leonardo Notarbartolo, an Italian as refined as the finest diamonds he is used to. He was anything but your ordinary thief. Over time, he had become a familiar face in Antwerp's Diamond District, where millions of dollars changed hands every day. He posed as a legitimate merchant of diamonds, renting a modest office within the very building that housed the vault. This office came with a key card that gave him unrestricted access to the facility. Certainly, this was enough grounds for him to carefully study the building's security systems, layout, and personnel. Notarbartolo played the long game, studying every detail and assessing each security layer down to the most minute details, working out the kind of plan that would eventually shock the world. For a heist like this, Notarbartolo needed a team of experts. There was the genius, an electronics expert who could cut off alarms in an instant. The monster, a hulking giant of a safecracker and a mechanic. Speedy, his longtime friend and a really expert thief. And the king of keys, the silent type, an expert lockpicker, none like him existed, who could make any key into another. Working together, they formed a team that would be able to handle every obstacle the security of the vault would throw before them. Notarbartolo and his gang spent over 2 years planning every single move in detail. He took hundreds of photographs of the inside of the vault, as small as all cameras could get, with a hidden pen camera he had tucked into his jacket, of the exact position of each lock, sensor, and security mechanism. These images gave the crew an exact model of the vault in a warehouse where they would rehearse the heist time and again, reliving each step under blanket secrecy. They memorized the layout, practiced bypassing every lock and sensor, and drilled until every move was second nature. By the time they were ready to strike, they knew the inside of the vault as well as their own hideout. On the night of February 15, 2003, the gang set the plan into action. In the heart of Antwerp's Diamond District, they arrived with black duffel bags and carefully chosen equipment. Notarbartolo remained in the car to monitor a police scanner, while the others went back to the World Diamond Center. The genius acted as the leader and climbed up the ladder onto a balcony overlooking the building. This balcony was watched over by a thermal sensor, but he had come prepared. He used a homemade polyester shield that blocked the heat signatures to go past the sensor undetected and clear a safe path for the others. When inside, they moved with precision in every step, up and down stairs and hallways. When they reached the room outside the vault, they covered the camera with a plastic bag to hide their movements. The door to the vault was an awesome structure of layer upon layer of complicated security. But the genius was prepared for it. He attached an appliance he had made to the magnetic sensors of the vault to keep them stable while the team worked on the opening of the door. The King of Keys brought out a 1-foot-long replica key he had made after closely observing the movement of the guards and how they opened it from his hidden cam. They inserted the replica, dialed the combination code, and heard the sweet click of the lock. Gently, they pulled the door open, taking extra pains not to let any light from the outside in, which would trip the light sensor inside the vault. Inside, it was lined with row after row of safety deposit boxes, each one independently double-locked with its own key and combination lock. But even then, sensors that detect vibrations made it impossible to use power tools to break open anything. To get around this problem, the King of Keys employed a hand-crank drill, opening each box with near silence. Box by box, they worked in near, complete silence, their bags filling with diamonds, cash, and precious stones. They moved like ghosts for 5 hours, performing every task with a practiced efficiency they had rehearsed for months in their mock vault. Come dawn, they'd cleared out 123 of the vault's 189 safety deposit boxes. Almost time to go home. The team went back up the stairwell in virtual silence, past the balconies, and out through the abandoned office building. They packed their haul into their car, their sacks heavy with an estimated $100 million in precious stones, gold, and cash. They had pulled off the heist of the century, melting away unnoticed into the dawn. But as they drove south toward Italy, a seemingly minor mistake unraveled their plans. Speedy, nervous, and exhausted, convinced Notarbartolo to stop and dump some of the evidence. Against his leader's advice, he scattered incriminating documents, receipts, and even small diamonds along a road through a wooded area. Early the next morning, a hunter from the area stumbled upon the scattered papers and shining pieces. Believing this to be litter, he promptly called the police, and when they arrived, they found much more than litter. Sifting through it, they found receipts and other documents that turned out to have originated in Notarbartolo's office in the Diamond District, along with a half-eaten sandwich covered in Speedy's DNA. Days later, the Diamond Squad pieced together enough evidence to link Notarbartolo directly to the heist. He was arrested the moment he arrived back in Antwerp, trying to blend in like a businessman collecting his mail, but there was too much evidence stacked up against him. Continuing the investigation, the police found that the helpers were the Genius, the Monster, and Speedy, but the police hadn't identified the King of Keys yet. Cell tower records, DNA traces, receipts. The police found it all and attributed each to the men involved. It was a bittersweet victory for the Belgian authorities. It had cracked the case, but most of the diamonds had vanished without trace. And in the shadowy deals of Antwerp's secretive diamond market, the missing gems were likely to stay lost forever. At his trial, Notarbartolo insisted he was just a pawn, part of an elaborate scheme concocted by a powerful diamond trader who wanted to stage the heist for insurance money. As he explained it, with the heist imminent, the dealer had emptied his deposit boxes only to claim insurance on diamonds no longer in the vault. But the police called that a ruse and convicted Notarbartolo of the heist, sentencing him to 10 years in prison. Yet questions remain. Did he steal $100 million in diamonds, or was he indeed a scapegoat in an elaborate insurance fraud? And if he had indeed stolen the full $100 million, where was it now? Hidden away, maybe, or discreetly sold back into Antwerp's underground diamond market. Even now, the whole truth of the Antwerp diamond heist remains a mystery. The result of a perfectly choreographed heist that had been spoiled only by one man's nervous mistake, or was there a deeper conspiracy at play? The answers would stay locked in the minds of the men who pulled it off, but Antwerp's diamond merchants could keep on plying their trade, and the legend of Leonardo Notarbartolo and his daring heist continued to live on, a testament to how fine a line separates sheer criminal brilliance from one fateful mistake. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of history's most brazen heists, please don't forget to subscribe and let us know what you think in the comments section below.